I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find muck without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Don't cause any trouble. Got
You're
it?
Henry, right? Or was it the other one? Do you have a moment?
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why?
Because you look like you need it.
I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad. But don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
You didn't listen to me. You can take him on, but I think you'll get trounced.
Are you certain?
Believe me, Tomcat knows some trick. Clubbers everyone like little boys.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I'd prefer something a little more ordinary. I'd like to blend in with the locals and not attract attention.
After what you did here with that friend of yours, even the deaf and blind would immediately recognise you. But between the two of us, it's easy enough to scrounge up a shirt and trousers if you know where to look.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it would be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though, I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout you was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. I really need something to wear.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
some clothes on. You can't just go walking about like this.
Oh, no. Couldn't eat another bite. Ah, damn!
that door alone, will you? Get out of here!
Lord be with you.
I'll have a look at your wares.
Nothing suits your fancy, eh? Ah, Lord Bearass, welcome.
What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then?
How's it going? My wife and I are pickling well. I thought you
Put
might
some
go and
clothes
look
on,
into it or
you
something.
scoundrel.
Are you out of your mind?
Huh?
If you think something is wrong, then go and take a look yourself. I've got enough work as is.
I'd like to buy something. Where can I find some merchants around here?
If it's a tradesman you're after, most of them live here in the village, of course. Your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg. He knows everyone. I'm sure he'll help you.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takeoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Gelievites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself. What did I do to you?
Next time, have a bath before you come to see me, you pig.
As the local scribe, you know a lot of things, right?
I'd say so. In this province, not a squirrel farts without my knowing.
Right. So, if I needed to get something, you'd certainly be able to tell me where, right?
Depends on what you're looking for. Don't involve me with anything dishonorable.
No, don't worry. I'm just looking for some armor.
Armor? Well, unless you want to join von Burgau's retinue, I don't think I can help you. But try Radovan, the blacksmith in Tachov. He might at least sell you an iron helmet.
You don't know of anything better?
Aha! So, the good man is a connoisseur, eh? And how would Prince Brunswick's armor suit you?
Whose armor?
Oh, it's just a local legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Are you saying I don't look like a knight to you?
You? Not unless they started knighting village yokels. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, So he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Then what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called No came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, considering what he later added to the coat of arms, I expect he helped the lion, eh?
Smart. Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armour come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenjek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas. A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day, a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Württemberg the name Lion and the armour of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad, died on his way back to his king, specifically while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armour back, but Lord Chenjek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenjek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armour to the king.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armour, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armour. Lord Chenjek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armour here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight, each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armour?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenjek, who they say hid the armour, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armour gleaming still.
The Crone and the Maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight.
Bloody hell. I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armour, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armour, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go.
Mind where you're going.
Hey, you're not allowed here.
Dribbling nonsense.
They're called letters, and that's exactly what I'm paid to do.
Oh, carry on then.
Correct, you nightcrawler.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?